Explain to me where this Cowboys team has been all season long, the one we saw yesterday.
Well, it's been a hard. They've been an enigma. I mean, it's just been hard to figure this team out because when you prepare, if you hadn't seen them and you're just preparing for one particular game, or if you're looking at their numbers, you'd say, "Wow, how is this team 6-7?" And it is difficult to figure out. You can't put your finger really on any one particular thing, I guess, with the exception of special teams. I mean, special teams has not been very good all season long, but there's been games, New England being one, New Orleans being one, where the defense came out and played exceptionally well. And then there's been other games like Chicago where the defense has struggled, and then there's been other times when the offense has failed to get it done, or they put up a lot of yards, but then the missed field goals. I know the 2 weeks against Buffalo on Thanksgiving, Chicago, if they simply made field goals, it would be an entirely different game, at least going into the fourth quarter. Instead, you miss a couple field goals, and then they score a touchdown. All of a sudden, you find yourself in a huge deficit, in the second half, and the game plan changes to some degree. And so it's been a head scratcher. But I said it yesterday during our broadcast, and people might laugh at this if they're critics of the Cowboys, and I certainly could understand it. But they're capable of playing like they did yesterday, and that is a good Rams team. And I don't think there's a team in the NFC that wants to face the Cowboys if they're playing as well as they're capable of playing. And maybe, you can say that about anybody, but there's very few teams in this league, Dan, that are really good on both sides of the ball, or at least capable of being great on both sides of the ball. And this is one of those teams. They just haven't played very well until yesterday. Yesterday was obviously their best performance against a good football team. And who knows? I mean, they as crazy as it sounds, what I've seen of Philadelphia the last 2 weeks, even though they've won, has not looked very good. I mean, it's looked really bad. They beat bad football teams late in games. It's going to determine everything next week. Of course, then Philadelphia, if they win, they've got to go win in the final game of the season. But if Dallas gets in, they're capable, if they hit it at the right time, doing some damage, and who knows where it might take them.
But it feels like Jerry Jones is still looking at Jason Garrett saying, if you don't get to the NFC title game. Do you think that's fair?
Well, that was the expectation coming into this season, was that for some reason, I don't know, I don't think Jerry Jones ever said that Jason had to get to the NFC Championship game, but he said we should be better. So better, since they went to the divisional game last year, meant to everyone else, well, they must make it then to the NFC Championship game. The way the season has gone, it's been tough. It's been tough on Jason. He's obviously a friend of mine. I've known him for 30 years. Is it time to have another voice in that locker room? I think if you polled everybody, they'd probably say yes as we sit here right now, even coming off of a huge win against the Rams. But this story hasn't been written yet. But I do think that he's going to have to at least get to the NFC Championship game for him to keep his job.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.